Hey guys, I've got 5 fun questions that are going to save you a lot of time when arguing with liberals. I stole this idea from Charles Murray's online quiz, How Thick Is Your Bubble?, where you can answer a few questions and learn how distant you are from the common man. Questions like, did you see this Transformers movie? Have you ever been on a factory floor? Have you ever walked on a factory floor? Fun little litmus tests that, like a cop, you take the drugs and you go, and if it turns blue, you go, that's crack. You're going to jail. By the way, when he was doing those tests, he noticed that every snob hated mainstream normal factory beers like Budweiser. Now, that doesn't mean if you hate those beers and you like craft beer, you're a snob, but all snobs never go near that beer. It's like all Muslims aren't terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. Anyway, these questions will save you time because they show that the person is just posturing and virtue signaling and hasn't looked it up. And if you haven't looked it up, then you don't really care. So you're boring me, and I'm not playing pool with someone who cheats. Number 1, how many illegals are there? Now, the Pew Research says 13 million. Coulter proves that it's 30 million. I'm not talking to you if you don't know that it's between 13 and 30 million. So when they say a number like, I don't know, 2 million, or it's never too many. That's a fun game, too, within this little game. You ask them, well, if it's not too much now, how many is too much? And I've never gotten an answer from a liberal. I'll say, 200 million illegals in America? And they'll go, yeah, well, there's room. There's room in Arizona. They're not monopoly pieces. But yeah, I had one woman tell me 70 billion. There are 70 billion illegals, probably, she said, around there. And then when they say that, I can just go, bye. We're not talking anymore. Question number 2 that separates you. Do we need free lunch programs? Now, there's something about free lunches that is irrevocably liberal. And I've sat with liberals, argued for hours with the same data, told them all the facts, and they still go, no, we need them. Because they like the idea of this poor little more gruel, sir, and then schlop, we put some food on their plate. They're hungry. Their tummies are rumbling. No one is starving in America. Free lunch programs are total and utter bullshit. In public schools in New York, they say to kids, do you want me to pack a lunch or you want to do a free lunch today? Well, I'll try the free lunch. The program is a complete catastrophe. And every time they try to enforce it and say, how about they do some work for these free lunches? They go, oh no, you're making a starving kid be a slave. No, we're teaching them about economics. What is a sandwich, $1.85? I wrote an article about this. I looked it up. And water's free. So bums can get $10 a day for vodka. You can get $1.85 together for a turkey sandwich for a child. Enough. No one's starving. So if they go, no, we absolutely need free lunches, you go, all right, well, you don't look this stuff up. You just like emotions and your feels don't matter, as Ben Shapiro consistently points out. Number 3, who is Henry Kissinger? This is just a fun one I like to do. I like to do it at Fox News, or I did when I worked there. Or anyone who wants to talk about politics. If you don't know who Henry Kissinger is, we're not playing this. And I don't understand, by the way, why people want to play the politics game and get all hoity-toity and dump you. I'm fucking Jackie Gleason. How many of us have lost friends for being MAGA, for having the hat, for getting kicked out of bars? And you go, so you're passionate about politics, but you don't know who Henry Kissinger is. I'm confused. I'm not passionate about football. I don't care if you like the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know anything about football. So I don't go screaming in other people's faces about the Oakland Raiders. I don't even know if that's still a team. And I've only heard of that team because of NWA. So yeah, he was Secretary of State. He's also Security Advisor. Another fun one to say within that one is, okay, what was that position, and has anyone else done it now? And if it's Security Advisor, then they better come up with Susan Rice or Flynn or that new guy we have. What's his name? Kellogg? I wonder if he's related to the guy who invented circumcision. That's right, Kellogg's cornflakes. Dr. Kellogg is the guy who told Americans to genitally mutilate themselves. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Number 4, is there white genocide in South Africa? This is a fun one to see who's racist against whites. And if they poo-poo it, then they have no idea what the hell's going on there, the horrors that are going on there right now. And number 2, why don't you care about that? Oh, I know why, because you don't like white people. And the majority, I would say the majority of the earth hates white people, especially white people. And the fact that they can watch Christians being slaughtered in northern Iraq and crucified all over Egypt is downright disgusting. Some of the worst racists I've ever met, actually probably the only bona fide racist I've ever met, is whites in regard to whites. Whites should join the anti-white KKK. They do. They join all kinds of black power movements and fight for reparations. Uhuru. All right. Number 5. This is a fun one to find out if someone hates black people, is racist towards blacks. Is it unusual? Do you advocate? Do you support? Would you want to disavow white families adopting black kids? Now they say, well, that's the definition of a cuck. Yeah, I hate it. What, you want a world where blacks just keep making babies and we raise them for them like some sort of reverse slavery? No, that's not the situation here. You see, the beauty of number 5, and it's my favorite one, is it also shows who's in for the big game and who's here with boots on the ground on Earth in 2017. The situation isn't blacks are a baby factory and whites are washing them and trying to, change their diapers. Please stop making those. I can't keep taking care of them. The situation is kids need to be adopted. A white couple can't make their own kids for whatever reason. They waited too long. They believed in feminism and their ovaries dried up. There's some right there. Match them up. That is more important than any dumb, superficial race thing you have. And if you have a problem with that, then you're racist. We need more families. That's the crux of the problem with the Western world right now. And it's a problem across the board. It's especially bad with blacks and Hispanics having kids out of wedlock. And there's a lot of culpability to go around there, but the fact that we reward women for dumping their man and getting a welfare check, we incentivize shattered black families is a huge part of it, and it leads to crime and all kinds of other social problems. I mean, idle hands are just as dangerous as nuclear weapons in many ways as far as culture goes. I saw this sign at a school. People send me crazy shit that goes on at their schools and colleges, and it said more trans families. And I just thought, you could never say more white families. And then I thought, let's just erase trans and white. More families. That's what we need. And if you have a problem with that because of the races involved, then you are a dumb asshole who doesn't care about the Western world. And I know, by the way, you're never going to have kids of your own. So you're not contributing. I don't want you being able to vote. You can't contribute. You can't be part of the society you're criticizing if you're not contributing to that society. And the way we get people to assimilate and contribute is by encouraging families. Make babies, Westerners, and stay married. So, these 5 tests are going to save you a lot of time. Just throw it out there depending on where the conversation is going. You can do this with other things, like if they go on an education tangent, ask them how much we spend per student per year. I think in New York it's about 20 grand. And test scores have not budged in the past 50 years. And we just keep spending and spending because the teachers, they need more money. It's our children. Invest in the future. Yeah, but you've never looked it up. So if you don't care about the family, you don't care about the West. So stop wasting my time with all this virtue signaling and posturing and telling me that I'm not noble enough because you're the one who is ignoble. You're the one who hasn't looked it up. And I really hope that's how you pronounce ignoble, or I just wasted this whole video. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Rebel Edge, where you can find all the videos that are exactly like this one, but different.